Liberals hide one damning thing about Texas shooter that they don't want you to know. With 26 people dead in Texas, the left is already doing their best to use the situation for political purposes. Too bad for them. It's most recently been exposed that they're hiding one damning fact about the shooter, and it's the one thing they do not want you to know because it blows their narrative. The idiocy of the left seems to be running amok today after 26 people were mercilessly executed while attending First Baptist Church in Sutherland Springs, Texas. Despite the fact that we should be mourning together and helping out where we can, the left seems to think that this is yet another great opportunity to stand upon the bodies of the dead in order to push their agenda. Perhaps proving that the most is MSNBC's Joe Scarborough, who recently saw fit to put out a dumb tweet just after the attack. Trump says drunk driving deaths are a problem caused by real big cars and not alcohol, Scarborough sarcastically tweeted. Trump says drunk driving deaths are a problem caused by real big cars and not alcohol. Joe Scarborough. His remark was a response to a Washington Post article, which stated, Trump says Texas church shooting was a mental health problem, not a gun situation. Trump says Texas church shooting was a mental health problem, not a gun situation, Washington Post. Of course, it doesn't take a genius to see that Trump is blaming the root cause when he suggests mental illness had something to do with the Texas shooter's motives. As can be seen, Scarborough tried to make an analogy about drunk driving, but he really fell short on this one. In his tweet, the MSNBC moron likened Trump's sentiments to blaming cars for DUI accidents rather than the alcohol. What he doesn't see is that he has things backward. Guns, just like the car in Scarborough's analogy, are just the inanimate tools used to do the killing. The alcohol, consumed by the driver, would have been the root cause here, but this idiot can't even see through his bias to get his metaphors right. Unfortunately, that's not all the left is doing to try to trick the public into seeing things their way. As it turns out, they've actively been hiding something about the Texas shooter that they clearly don't want you to know, and for good reason since it destroys their gun control rhetoric. As information has begun to emerge about Devin Kelley, the Texas shooter, we now knew that he was in the Air Force but was dishonorably discharged after receiving a court-martial. Now, we also know why. U.S. Air Force TUVO #Texas shooting 1/3 Devin P. Kelley was former USAF member served at Holloman AFB&M, from 2010 until discharge in 2014. Kelley was court-martialed in 2012 for 2 counts of Article 128 UCMJ assault on his spouse and assault on their child. Air Force TUVO Kelley received a bad conduct discharge, confinement for 12 months and a reduction to the grade of E1. Tweeted Vo's Carla Babb, source, The Gateway Pundit. Although smacking around your wife and kids doesn't seem like all that much of a bombshell, considering who this vile scumbag was and what he did, it does when you understand what else this means. You see, this court-martial was a felony. The dishonorable discharge is based on a general court-martial conviction. This means the conviction is a felony, regardless of what the underlying offense may have been. The convicted felon is banned from possessing a firearm including Title II firearms, a silencer, SBR, SBS, L, or machine gun. Source, Gun Trust Lawyer. Sadly, there's just one reason the left wouldn't want you to know this, and their motives here are really quite disturbing. Since people with a felony are not allowed to own a firearm, as Gun Trust Lawyer explains, this means that Kelley was in illegal possession of the firearm he used to kill 26 people. As we all know, the left has already begun to parade the dead bodies around as political props in their desperate attempt to push liberal gun control policies forward. However, what they don't want you to know is that nothing they are suggesting would have stopped this killing from happening because Kelley already got around and broke existing gun control laws, not to mention the law that forbids murder. Unfortunately, these kinds of deceitful tactics are used all too frequently when it comes to the left as they find it very hard to pass their nonsensical policies through Congress. You see, most of the time, common sense is able to override their disastrous ideas, and that's why they rely so heavily on emotion. There's no arguing that the deaths of 26 innocent people are tragic and unimaginable, but that doesn't mean the left has a right to take advantage of it. Don't let their tactics fool you. None of their ideas would have stopped this. Evil exists in this world, and the best thing we can do as citizens is to arm ourselves and prepare for the worst. More guns equal less crime. Don't let the left convince you otherwise. Imagine if someone in the church had been carrying concealed. Who knows how many lives could have been saved? Sadly, the left wants to negate the chance for survival altogether, and it's up to us to make sure they don't. Thank you for watching this video. What do you think about this? Share this on Facebook and Twitter along with your comments.